Hangout Live. The week's been long, the work is done. Now it's time to have some fun. Grab your gear, come gather round. Flash is live, so let's get down. Tuesday night, the fire's burning. Gold pants spin and the wheels are turning. Stories told, good friends collide. Right here on Hangout Live. Picking and gritting, talking gold. Legends new and stories old. From the rivers to the hills, chasing dreams, hunting thrills. Tuesday night, the fire's burning. Gold pants spin and the wheels are turning. Stories told, good friends collide. Right here on Hangout Live. Got the pay dirt, who's got the tales, who's got the fever that never fails. Tuesday night, the fire's burning, gold pants spinning, the wheels are turning. Settle in, the time is right for flashing your pan light tonight. Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night Hangout Live.
Hey, YouTubers and friends. Welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. I see I'm choppy again. How are all of you awesome people tonight? Megadog 555, great seeing you. Julie, Banshee Mining, Dirty Nugget Prospecting, Billy, I hope you're not driving again. Creed, Nine Finger Miner, good seeing you. I hope work's going fine. Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator. Mi amigo David Villa, hello. Hey, Chew, how you doing? I don't know if it's just me, Chew, but every time I say, hey, Chew, it's like, ha, Chew. Hey. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of weird, but hey. Joyce, good to see you. Welcome back. Culver Prospecting in the live chat. He's also a guest tonight. Representing Operation 4 Paws with Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting, who has been a channel member for I think since I started it almost. Who else? Hey, Bill Marsh. How you doing, Ohio Relic Hunter? Always good seeing you. And 83 Sky Warrior, the one and only Rain Man. How you doing, Richard? Good seeing you. A lot of areas had plenty of rain. Texas, West Virginia, Southern Ohio. It's a good thing I'm in Northern Ohio. Well, kind of, sort of. Annie, how you doing? Annie Steffens, with part of Bear Prospecting. Dano the Mano, did you get my text, Dano? Was wondering what time you wanted me at your house Saturday. Dying for I don't have my Creek Therapy shirt on, but you know, I say creaks, not shrinks. And I'm in dire need of some creek therapy, let me tell you. Massachusetts, my son is in Lowell, Massachusetts. And my oldest was born in Lowell. What's funny, my oldest, born in Lowell, now lives in Washington, and my youngest, born in Cedar-Woolley, Washington, now lives in Lowell. It's just how the world works. You were missed this week. Oh, yeah, I was missed this week. It's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, my schedule is really hectic right now, Annie. It would have been nice to make it to Fossick. Next Monday, I start a job down in Urbana, which is an hour and a half for me one way. I'll be down there doing a wing at a convalescent facility. How do I phrase that stuff now? And assisted living. I'll be redoing a whole wing down there. Barb, Dirt Pirate, how you doing? Strike Gold, welcome. Yeah, a lot of work now, Dano. I know what you mean. You can only control your local rain, huh, Rain Man? Oh, Richard. Well, Richard's on the board, I believe, with the founder and another board member of Operation 4 Paws, which we have tonight. My monologue is going to be quite short tonight, I believe. Brewer Prospecting, after I say hi to all you great people, because you're why I do this stuff, and shooting to make 10 years. Next week will be the real 8th year anniversary of Tuesday Night Hangout Live, but now that I take summer off, we're not going to have any celebration until I come back from my summer vacation from Tuesday Night Hangout Live. And since I can talk more about that stuff next week, though. But to my surprise, our friend James Culver from Culver Prospecting is sponsoring a giveaway, actually 3 giveaways tonight. Some Culver pay dirt bags, 1/4 gram Culver pay dirt bags. There's a catch though. You must be in the live chat when we do it. We'll probably just use the StreamYard's giveaway tool, since I have nothing set up for any duck races or anything. So that's right, Banshee. Woohoo, Culver. I don't know if anyone's going to go to swing into summer, Barb. But we do have a few people that dabble in metal detecting in here. But on that note, I've had my guests backstage, and I want to get them on sooner than later. So don't go away. My guests and I will be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday Night Hangout Live.
There we go.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello? Okay,
Hello,
now
Ed.
we're hearing an echo.
We do have an echo somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it off of me?
I think it's off of Rocky Mountain. Now if you go into your audio, there should be an echo cancellation if you could get to it, Robert. I didn't ask you to wear earbuds and stuff, and I know you're using your phone, so it makes it kind of hard. I'm not hearing it now, though.
Mine's on now. My echo cancellation is on.
Okay.
And how we got here? Is it coming off of me?
I don't
We are
know.
having solar flares.
Well, you know how technology. Mr. Minix, hello. Terry Marshall, good day, mate. Brewer Prospecting. Barb, you know Josh Kimmel lives about 35 minutes from me, right? You'll be going to Salina, Ohio. I work straight north of there. Or the company I work for is straight north of there. But sorry. Hobo Rob, good seeing you. So welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Robert, better half, and James.
That's right.
Great seeing you here with me tonight.
Thank you for having us on, Ed.
That's much appreciated.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. Bill Marsh, Ohio Relic Hunter, that has to be it. He says, that's it. Murphy is riding on a solar flare tonight. Could be. You never know. But, oh my goodness. Where do we start? Now, let's start with how the both of you got into gold prospecting. Robert?
All right. Well, about 6 years ago, me and Casey were going through some things. Just being honest, we used to own an automotive repair shop, and it was being embezzled. And me and one of the guys that worked for me, we got into prospecting, and I realized how valuable it could be for mental health. And we had already had it on our hearts to start an animal rescue. Somehow working with veterans, and being able to take in animals that were left behind by the great grandmothers or grandmothers, things like that, and give them new hope with a returning soldier. And boy, it really took a big turn. And so now we literally we bought some property. We have a couple claims. We're currently boarding for deployed military, and we are hopefully actively taking out disabled veterans out painting, recirculating sluice if they're in a wheelchair, or even mining. We have a couple mines as well, so that would be how we got into it, and it's all become part of it.
Cool.
We have to share, with our veterans.
Right. Yeah, they gave up a lot to serve the country, and they don't get much in return. and
That's right.
some paid the ultimate price. How'd you get into prospecting, James?
Well, it starts off, it's in my blood. So I come from an extensive military family. My dad was in service. My grandpa was in service. My great granddad was in service. And my great granddad and his brother were both in World War II. And my great granddad was a ship's engineer. And he was there during D-Day. And he couldn't stand seeing his fellow brothers getting shot down. He decided he was going to join. He went onto the beach and got himself shot 9 times, killed the German that shot him, took his firearm, beat him to death with it. They sent him back to the States. He healed up. He wanted to go back. They sent him back for a little while, but he couldn't do his job as an engineer like he could before. So coming back to the States here in Colorado, he went to work up in the mines around Telluride. And there was a plethora of old mining stuff in my home growing up with my grandparents and my mom, who was born on a military base. And me being around my great granddad that was originally a hard rock miner and my grandpa, they would take me out on the weekends to different spots and go panning. And as I got a little older, kind of went by the wayside. I found different interests, girls. And after I settled myself down, it came back to me that one of the biggest stress managements I can do for myself and my own mental well-being is go wander around the mountains of Colorado and find gold. And then I found the YouTube community, which I didn't know there was a whole bunch of crazy people like me that enjoyed this stuff this much. And to tie it all together, everybody knows, like when I first got into the community, I got into a bad car wreck and I got my neck broke. And during that time, Brother Rob reached out to me, and we became friends and started getting close. And a lot of it I don't remember, but he was there for me. So I'm starting to heal back up and get back to what I was. And I've had some other health problems come up. It's a lot of the reason why my pay dirt side has been down, but I'm back on the rebound and coming back up, and I'm helping out Rob because he's not back up to operational speeds yet, but he's got a Culverizer that's going to come help him out. And this coming weekend, we're going to meet up and we're going to go do what we need to do and in the high elevation of the mountains.
Nice. Now, this is for both of you, but what do you think sets Colorado prospecting apart from other regions, in your opinion? Or have you been to other states and regions prospecting?
So part of my youth, I grew, well, I shouldn't say I grew up. I spent some years in Virginia City, Nevada. My mom moved us out there with her husband at the time, and he was a mine inspector. And I went with him to work. So I remember doing that. And as for prospecting, it's kind of branched out. I've been to Arizona, New Mexico, California, and have taken a gold pan with me. And any place that looks like it might have some heavies concentrated, I pull off the side of the road and dip a pan in.
There you go. Always have that pan in your truck.
And a scoop and a snuffer.
Never know until you pan it out, right, James?
Yeah.
Now, if anyone in the audience has any questions, please be sure to highlight me. It's easy. Just put the @ sign if you're on a PC or laptop. Can't do it on your phone, and it will start typing in Flash, and it will come up with my handle. Click on it. That way it shows a bright, nice orange or yellow on my name, so I know you're shooting me a question to ask my guest. How about you, Robert? Have you prospected in any other regions? And if you have, what makes Colorado unique in your
I
opinion?
have. I was actually raised as a years. We have an issue. Hold on, guys. I have an emergency issue. 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. No worries. No worries.
Well, what sets Colorado different from other states? I didn't ever touch on that.
Okay.
80% of Colorado's gold is locked up in rock. The other 20% is in placer. So that makes it a little bit different than places like New Mexico and Arizona, where there has been a lot of erosion where it's come out of the rocks. So to find placer golds in Colorado of any substantial size, you got to be very diligent on looking for the signs that indicate where the heavies may be. And I have been successful in a lot of different areas of finding extremely fine flour gold.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the gold is locked up in hard rock around here. And that's what Rob and I are going headfirst into right now, on figuring out and getting going and rehabilitating a couple of mine shafts.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of the adits and stuff, you know, on the property. Nice. Now, this is all prospecting related still at this time.
Sure.
What's one mistake each of you've made early on that others could learn from?
Oh my God. Well, it depends what we're talking about. So, like, what I was saying, unfortunately, before I got interrupted, with the rescue, is I grew up being a metal detectorist. So I've got close to a little over 40 years of digging Civil War relics, and then now digging, old homesteads and stuff like that here in the Rockies. That's something we take our veterans out to do too. I've gotten James into metal detecting now a little bit as well. So going back to the prospecting, I'm sorry, what was the question? Hey, any other states? Yeah, absolutely. Dear God, man, see, this is why she's so valuable to this. So yeah, definitely. We Arizona, and of course on the eastern coast as well. That's really a different world. Like what I believe I heard James saying, the difference, especially up here with, like, say, my claims up here, the lowest one is at 8,600 feet, I believe, James, right?
Yeah.
And that is serious hard rock mining. It is a completely different world than stuff at lower altitude. Yeah, you have to be prepared for it, but at the same time, you don't have the dangers and as like collapses as you do at lower altitude. or in different shafts and tunnels. But Colorado, this area that we're in is considered the buckle of the mineral belt of Colorado, and there is still some extremely good gold left in this state. But as we all know, as prospectors, it doesn't jump in your pan, and
Right.
it takes work, and it's everything is on a grade up here, 20% here, 35% there. So just walking a couple hundred yards can be a workout in itself.
Well, yeah, with that height, if you're not used to it, you'll get altitude sickness and takes a lot out of you.
It even comes down to biological effects that happen to your body. I've had a lot of blood work done lately, and my red blood cell count is a lot higher than the normal person that would be at sea level. I have a hematocrit red cell level of 55.
Yeah, a couple times.
That way my blood can carry more oxygen. So if I go down to sea level, it's like I'm strapping a supercharger to myself. I get all this extra oxygen I'm not used to, and I can go and go and go. But up here, it's normal to be in thin air because I work at 8,000 feet for my normal daily job. And if I go down in elevation, it just gives me a super amount of endurance. So living here and doing this prospecting here, you don't realize that somebody comes from sea level and comes up here, why they're dying. Because, well, we're just used to it.
Yeah, your body has acclimated to your environment.
Yep.
Even though I was nowhere near that high when I lived in the Cascades, but I would go up in the mountains a lot there, and now I don't know. I probably put me in a world of hurt for a minute now, since I'm living in Ohio. Now, during World War II, they had to close a lot. Gold at that time was a non-essential mineral, and so the U.S. government closed down a lot of the mines, and a lot of those miners ended up fighting during the war, and a lot of them never came back. And a lot of the mines that did close because of the non-essential mineral type thing were never open back up. And there's still a lot of rich mines everywhere, in my opinion. It's as we know, the easy pickings all got taken when Telluride or Aspen or all those other areas were first found. Creed and shoot, all the mining towns, just like in the Sierras or Mount Baker mining district or up in the Caribou and all that. It's totally different beast. Hard rock mining, which I have like zero experience with. Now I've helped dig a drift for placer, but I've never did actual hard rock mining. And that's what you guys are going to be all about. Pretty much on your property is all hard rock.
Yeah. That's correct. All up here.
Yeah, and on one of the claims, there is a creek that there is some panning available, and I did some testing on it, and there is a little bit of flour gold in there that's tracked out of the mountains. But the rock itself, because it's not been exposed to oxygen or sunlight or weather and elements, the rock is twice, if not 3 times harder underground than it is sitting 5-10 feet to the surface. And yeah, Rob and I have had one heck of a learning curve on how we're gonna start moving rock out of these holes, which, like you said, in World War II, everything stopped and everybody went to war to save the world. America saved the world. And with that, these mine shafts that we're stepping into is stepping back in time. And that's where these boys came out of to go fight. And that's where Rob and I are picking up.
Cool. I just hope you guys find a nice big vein. Find the mother lode.
It's looking pretty good, actually. And one of them, it's looking really good.
That's good.
Possible gemstone as well coming up.
Well, if either one of you ever want to send me some samples,
We will work on that, brother.
I'm not too proud. Now, how did YouTube itself become part of your journey into prospecting?
Good question.
Can you repeat that?
Okay. How did YouTube become part of your journey?
Oh, YouTube.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Well, for me, you know, I got on it just to kind of learn, you know, because once again, like we were saying earlier, it's so vast across the country. You know, I can watch mining videos, but if they're in Nevada, then they're really not applicable to me up here in Colorado. So I got onto YouTube looking for people who were up here in altitude to learn tricks, where to go, how better to do it. And, you know, kind of the rest is history. You know, I just kind of took it from there, and then I seen it as a great communication tool to share what we're doing. And now that we're working with our disabled veterans, you know, it can be an extremely valuable tool. I'm also connected with an organization called American Badass. They're located in Texas, and we'll be having a special Tenn run pay dirt coming with a book from my dear friend, and he's a part of our organization as well, called Shiloh Harris. He was blown up by an IED, 180 surgeries or so. And he's got a great organization working with disabled veterans down in Texas. And they have their own land up next to us up here. So we've joined up. He joined up with us. And, you know, we're looking forward to that really exploding as well, and being able to help more and more veterans, you know, across the nation. This isn't just a local thing for Colorado. That's why we have Julie out in California. Julie's working with a lieutenant colonel, who actually I got this bracelet from, and he is going to be putting her in contact with taking female veterans out panning. You know, where Rich A3 Sky Warrior may take a veteran or two out panning out in Indiana. And my friend Shiloh down in Texas is going to, you know, be getting folks into doing pay dirt and things like that at home. So, and yeah, tell Lord Shadow, please shoot me an email or send me a contact information through my website, and I'd be more than glad to catch up with you, man.
James said he'll get in contact with them, so
Roger
they'll
that.
reach out to you, Lord Shadow. So, Joyce has a question. Do you have to get the rock from your mines to lower ground to process it to get the gold out, and how?
No, we actually take it higher. It makes no sense, but yes. So we harvest from some of our lower mines, and we bring it up to higher altitude for processing. James has a 3-inch rock crusher, and I got heavy equipment and another crusher, and we crush the ore down, and yeah, but we actually take it up to higher altitude.
Kind of dyslexic, huh?
Yeah.
And a big help that just came to the organization in doing some of this. I got to give a shout out to Charlie, Path of the Bee. He brought me down a gravity shaker table, and that's going to be a big benefit for helping us sieve out this really fine material and catch this really fine gold. So it's going to take some work getting it dialed in. Of course, I'm doing some R&D for him, but yeah, we got to process the rock. We got to superheat the rock so that we can run it actually through our crushers without destroying them. And then once we get it broke down and the sulfides released, then we can run it down on this new experimental shaker table and process the concentrates out that way.
Okay, you kind of answered something with me. Yeah. When I was gonna ask if it's sulfide or is it free milling, and you kind of answered that. Which, from what I understand, there's a lot of sulfides and stuff in Colorado and the Rockies.
Yeah, where you roast them.
Looks like your better half is in the chat room, James.
The boss is here. We all go be good now.
Now, what's your favorite piece of gear you can't go out without?
Favorite piece of gear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Well, honestly, Mike, it well depends on what I'm doing. I mean, having, if I'm metal detecting, pinpointers are awesome. I'm factory Garrett, have been for about 4 years now. So, I'm all about a all-American made machine, and one that's been doing it longer than anyone else other than White's, which now that's Garrett. When it comes to mining, our hard rock mining, Milwaukee M12 hammer drill, bro. That's the way to do it. The old timers would have done really well with that. When it comes to panning, having a good Garrett gravity trap pan.
Well, gold pan's pretty much.
I agree.
A given.
Yeah.
My number one piece of gear is whenever I go prospecting or go anywhere is my Smith & Wesson 357.
Right on your hip.
In my pocket, on my hip, and then I got an extra one for that one.
Yeah.
We live, the last person killed in Colorado was actually by Idaho Springs, and he was looking in a mine shaft, and he got attacked by a mountain lion. So if we're going down in holes, I'm going in first with the Magnum.
Right. I understand. I always packed heat in the North Cascades. Wasn't necessarily always for bear or cougar, but
Right.
I had it on me nonetheless. Well, now, have you ever had a close call on the mountain or an unexpected experience in the field?
How many?
Right. Which one, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of truth. Okay, listen. If you're not educated in mining, stay out, stay alive. I cannot stress that strong enough. I mean, I've showed James some of the mines around here. We have a 105-foot drop straight off shaft. You'd never know it's there. So you got to stay aware. And take everything with the highest level of respect.
Right.
Up
Lack
here,
of
anyway.
respect will kill you in many ways.
Oh, very much so. From gases to, I mean, I carry all the proper gauges and sensors, and once we clear a shaft, knowing what's in it, then you don't have to turn on all that stuff all the time. But when you're exploring, a new shaft, or if you pick up a new claim, you have to use the highest level, Geiger counter 100% too. Up here, we have uranium.
Yeah. And definitely with the gas sensors and stuff, and I doubt if you want to carry a canary with you every time you go.
No.
No, a little impractical.
Technology is quite better nowadays than when they used a canary.
I agree.
Yeah.
A3 Skywalker, what? Rocky James, just a little flight deck. Yeah, for you, huh, Richard? And got a landing strip for when Richard visits.
Oh, absolutely. So another thing that we're doing, that we're offering our veterans, is we're going to be opening up eventually an Airbnb for military only as well on one of my claims, and as well as you say, folks that want to visit. We have extra campers, or there's local hotels that give discounts for people that are coming in through Operation Paws.
Nice. Well, I think I'm gonna quit with anything prospecting related at this moment and stick to nothing but Operation Paws Rescue. And you touched base on it a little when I asked you about prospecting, but can you give us the story on what inspired you behind finding Operation Paws?
Sure.
And if you have to repeat yourself on something you might have said before, sorry.
No problem. Well, it originally started out with a different name. And I apologize, it's raining pretty hard here now. All right, so we've gone through some loss in our life, and I've always, my first paid job was working on a dairy farm. We've always been around animals our whole life, and I've personally seen how much healing that an animal can give. And our military, especially over the past few years, has really been cast aside. And it's really heartbreaking to hear some of the stories. It's kind of one of those things where when you start it 4.5 years ago, it kind of takes on its own life. And now it's something like, you're never going to retire. This is fine. I'm okay with this life because I know how many we can help. And prospecting is all over the world in different
Right.
forms and ways. And PTSD is all over the world, and those who gave so much, or they are, I work with Gold Star families as well. And we're going to be offering a family day up here where, for those families who have a deployed loved one, whether or not we're boarding for them or not, we're going to have a family day where the mom and the kids can come up, and there'll be, a cookout or something. Me and James have found a few places along, like, say, Clear Creek, that would be a good place for something like that. And they can come up and have fun, and they don't have to worry about, anything. We're pretty vetted. So, but,
Excellent. Now, James, how'd you become involved with Operation Four Paws and its mission?
For what it is, I mean, it's something that I wasn't expecting. And for what my life situation is, none of my family is really here in Colorado. And my biological brothers and I aren't as close as I would like us to be. And Rob has become my brother. And I got my brother 6. And I love dogs. And I love birds. I like cats, but they mess me up, so I can't have a cat. But as to that effect, Rob has a dog that doesn't really particularly like many people, and well, we were friends within a couple of minutes. So for me, being around animals, it is second nature. I've been in the situation where an old lady was parked next to a car that had 2 giant German Rottweilers in it, and she was afraid to get in her car. So I went up and let the dogs lick my face so she could get in her car. So dealing with animals is just second nature. I've been on a farm and a lot of my youth and ranches, and I'm just an animal lover in general. So, and finding Rob and him finding me at the times that we were both really down and out, we formed a bond, and I'm supporting my brother every way I can.
Excellent. Now, Joyce has another question, but it's back to prospecting. It's on how do you find and file claims? Do you have others who help work your claims, or?
Every state is different.
Yeah, and here in Colorado, if the property is open, you can go onto a website here in Colorado that's Colorado Digs, and they will show you what properties are claimed and what's not. And you would have to go back to USGS and see if there's actually anything there, whether there was any kind of reported minerals found. And you can file for a claim on a piece of property that may have nothing on it for like $35, and the state will get back to you. But you have to follow their regulations that you got to move 3 cubic yards of material within a year if they submit your claim is accepted. It's either that you find a claim that somebody else owns and you purchase that claim from them, and then you're responsible for the yearly upkeep of
the assessment work. Yeah.
yeah.
Now in Washington, I had to file with the county seat where I filed the claim, and with the county auditor, and with the Bureau of Land Management out of Portland. And personally, I won't buy a claim. I wouldn't even waste my money on a state or federal claim. Only time I'd buy one is if it's patented and private. It's
Right.
personally.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Personally.
It's such a different world.
But there are no claims east of the Mississippi, except for Florida, I think. And I don't understand why Florida would have mineral claims. Okay, I say that because Joyce is in Massachusetts. Nice, Lord Shadow, finding about 310 stream bed and water permit. Nice. I believe Lord Shadow's in Montana. Bent Fork, good to see you, Scott. Now, do you just rescue canines or any animal?
No, actually, it's dogs and cats for now. I'm eventually going to have mules up here. So, we'll look at that when that time comes, but that's something very far and in between. Unfortunately, Denver is really a terrible place for animals. So, because we deal with deployed, we have to be 24 hours. Because if someone wants to visit their dog or their cat, which is normally what we board, and believe it or not, you would be surprised how many service animal cats there are over dogs. It is very high. We deal with a lot of disabled veterans who cannot take the dog out every single time that they need to, and that can end up working against where you're trying to accomplish, through the mental therapy, because they feel like, they're holding the animal back, where a cat has been a little bit more self-sufficient. And I have quite a few veterans. Actually, we're boarding a couple cats now for a couple sailors who are deployed in the Philippines. So, but both dogs and cats, yeah.
Okay, now, do you ever have a animal, a rescue animal, and not a boarder that you match up with your vets?
Correct. So yes, we do provide service animals when we can to certain veterans that would qualify. So, and even with me going through all my spine fusions, I've had 4 in the past 3.5 years. Um, just last year, we were able to get a couple service animals for disabled veterans, and we've heard some extremely good reports back uh, from other family members contacting us, thanking us for getting that animal certified and licensed, because a service dog or a cat ranges between $10,000 to $50,000. Okay, if you're getting one where the average E4 coming out, they can't afford that, unless there's something available. And we deal with a lot that have already been out for years and years. Sorry. We
No worries.
deal with quite a few that have been out for years and years, and they seem to be the ones the most forgotten, the ones that served in the 70s, in the 80s, Vietnam, they get a lot more, attention than some of the other ones that served, and they still need, that care as well. So we do everything we can. We are a 501c3 for people that are interested in, that for donations. But even people just sending us grain-free dog food or cat food is a real blessing, and it really helps us offset.
I could understand that. And pet animal food's expensive. What's some of the
Oh
biggest
yeah.
challenges the organization is facing right now?
Well, honestly, we're the only 24-hour and probably a 2.5-hour radius. That's all of Denver. All the surrounding cities of Denver, they have no animal care after 6 p.m. So it rolls over to us. So I get the phone calls at 11 o'clock at night when someone has their dog lost, or they're deciding at 2 o'clock in the morning to give up their dog, and they want someone to come pick it up now. And they don't understand that's not how it works. And but I can at least help those folks, find what resources might be in their area. But other than that, being that we're not selling out to any political party, we're not getting involved with the government. It is fundraising, and me and Casey have been carrying this for quite a few years off of, she works, and then in between, when I could work in between my fusions.
Yeah, I know there's a donation button on your website. And I know Nightbot's been dropping it a few times. So
Yeah, thank you guys very much. And like I said, even if just by like going to Culver prospecting and supporting him by buying those pay dirts, that's helping us indirectly, and you're still receiving something tangible back. You can reach out to Creed at Nine Finger Mining. He makes all of our t-shirts, all of our business cards, things like that. If someone gets a hold of Creed with D&D engraving at Nine Finger Mining, he gives a kickback to our organization, a discount on orders of shirts and other items that we need to help promote our organization. And
yeah, I've seen some of the bags
thank
and
you.
some of Creed's work, and it looks really sharp. He was in here earlier. He was at work though still. So
Yeah, he's like 4 hours behind me, or behind us in Colorado.
he's
Rocky
4 hours behind me, and you're
Okay.
mountain time, right?
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
So, yeah, I think he's 3 hours behind you. He's 4 hours behind me.
And then this flag behind me, that was made by M&M Prospecting. That's Mike and
Oh,
Melissa.
Mike
Mike
and
is a military veteran,
Yeah.
and we just give him a shout out for if anyone who wants to get a wooden flag made, they may have some available, and you're helping a disabled veteran that just has a small little business out of his garage. So,
Mike and Melissa are
we're-
really good friends of mine also. And for one of my flash bashes, they made a Monopoly game. It was
wow.
so cool. Keen Prospect
cool.
on YouTube won it, and it's really fun. But Melissa has her CD out. It's very, very good music. If you don't believe me,
Yes, she dedicated a song to us on there. We're on one of the tracks. We're very, very honored.
Yeah, Melissa has such an awesome voice too. Yeah, here it is. Marching On, track 6, written by
Yes, sir.
Melissa Gale, dedicated to Robert Clark and Operation 4 Paws, Colorado. Yeah, Mike and
Yeah.
Melissa, great people, very talented, and life's been pretty hard on them. And I know they really use selling some CDs. Actually, I'm gonna activate Melissa Gale's CD link. So sorry,
Very good.
everybody, if my nightbots are spamming the chat, but they're doing their job. Why don't we take a quick break so I could run
Yes,
to
sir.
the little boys' room real quick, and then we could do a Culver giveaway. So you gotta wait
There you
till
go.
we get back. So sounds like my better half and grandkid just got in. Hey, Sam Tuckerly and Jim. Sorry I missed you at Fossick. But let me cue this up so we could go on and I can run to my lavatory. All right, everybody.
See you
Thanks
guys in a
for
minute.
hanging out. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Enjoy the music.
Good deal.
Take a break, but don't go far. Gold fever's burning like a shooting star. Grab a snack, stretch it out. Still more stories to talk about. Shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high. Treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night hangout live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold. From lost mines to rivers wide, prospectors digging side by side. Old time stories, brand new finds, gold and treasure, history the dirt, pickaxes high, treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night hangout live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Let me share a page or a screen. Our friend Culver's been gracious enough to sponsor a few giveaways tonight. So first one, just Vendetta Prospecting. Hola,
Hey,
mi
Mike.
amigo. Now, hopefully, this is working. Only to the U.S., right, James?
Yes, please.
Sorry for all my Aussie friends and family and those
Hello,
abroad.
Bald Lion.
But this is for the United States only. So get in there. I've had pay dirt from James before, even though I don't worry about ROI and all that stuff, because to me, panning's to help with cabin fever. Pay dirt's to help with cabin fever in the winter time. And it's
Indeed.
to practice on my skills. So we'll choose a winner in little under 2 minutes. Ranch Prospecting, good to see you. How you doing? Vendetta, always good to see you. Loretta, hello, keep digging.
Guys.
And I have to do something for my friend Mike of Vendetta Prospecting.
Oh yeah, super chat.
Thanks for the super chat. Down East Detecting and Prospecting, great seeing you, Bob. Did Oak Island go off the air or something? Or am I digging into his Oak Island stuff? Adam Wise, good to see you. All right, I'm going to let her rip. And well, wait, can I get in on this, James?
It's your show, Ed. You make the rules, not me.
Yeah, but usually I don't get in on this stuff unless it's okay with the person sponsoring the giveaway. Don't want to. Aqua Donkey, Aaron, good to see you. So there, I better enter. Oh, you got your sticker pack today, Rob? Excellent, excellent. All right, time's up. Let's see who's gonna take it home. I'm Irish, so I doubt if I'd win it anyway.
Looks like the convention. Yeah, he's got a huge.
Who?
Oh,
Richard!
yeah.
It's 3
Nice, Rick.
Fire! Hashtag. Well, Indiana boys prospecting. Yeah.
I
Jack
think I got his
Frank,
address.
Jack Flint. I almost thought that Jack was the Jack I work with. So congratulations, Richard. I know you don't need to email him. I'm sure you have Richard's address, right, James?
Yeah, we were texting earlier.
The Rain Man strikes again. No, Jack Flynn ain't Jack Frank. Actually, I should have told Jack there was a chance to. I didn't know earlier until I got you guys in, so I couldn't have warned him, but he could be listening. I'll have to give him a hard time tomorrow at work. All right.
We will see you in August, Rich.
Pardon?
Oh, I was reading the comments. Richard's going to see me in August.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Mhm.
Nice. He coming out there or are you coming out here?
He's making his
Hey,
way out
Jason.
here.
Nice. Nice. Jason AU Colorado, how you doing? Colorado's representing tonight. Excellent.
Yes. Good to see him.
Now, what's the best way people, viewers, community members, and stuff can help? Donations, fostering in any way, branch out, volunteering?
Yes. Yes, actually. Of course, donations. And like I said, it doesn't need to be monetary. You can send us directly rain-free dog food, or, cat food, things like that you would imagine a rescue uh, could use and need. However, though, if you're in your own community and you're a prospector, you know what? There's a good chance that you probably have a VFW in your area, and some of those guys are widows themselves. And, it wouldn't hurt to stop by. You can look on their local website for their meeting times. Just maybe introduce yourself and go, hey, I'm a prospector here in whatever state. And, I'd be like to invite one of you guys out on the creek sometime. And you never know what type of friendship you could start right there. And, you're paying back for what they sacrificed so much for.
Well, you might have noticed, well, maybe not, because when I got back from using the potty, neither of you were behind the camera, so you probably were doing the same thing. But Toledo Jess, my old co-host and a big part of my channel, he's a Vietnam vet, and his brainchild through with us was take a vet prospecting project. And we're always open to taking vets out for a little creek therapy and introduce them to our lifestyle. And we guarantee they'll leave with a great experience and gold. We supply
There you go.
everything.
Yes, sir. Same here.
Patriot prospecting in the house. Good seeing you, Dan. But yeah, even though I never served, my dad was a World War II vet, and
Yeah.
To be honest, I wish I did, but I was way too rebellious in my youth. It probably would have did me a lot of good, but I was too busy chasing bikinis in Southern California and surfing, and I was too rebellious. I'm afraid I
I don't
would
think
have
at
got
all.
discharged. But thinking back, I probably should have joined. But it is what it is. But I greatly respect anyone who is in the armed forces. My late brother was in the 7th Cavalry, Hell on Wheels.
Oh, right on. Yep.
Yeah, so if you animals are expensive to feed and they can always use help. If you have lots of dog food that you could share, or even go over to their website and donate. You know what? There now on YouTube you can do giving to certain organizations, and they have a search in there for nonprofits, and
Yep.
a bunch of other rescue things came up, but not Operation Four Paws, Colorado. So
Not
I
yet.
searched
And
and
not yet, Ed. And the reason is like I mentioned before, I just got out of my 4th spine fusion, and
right,
I have over 20 some anchor bolts in just my spine. And I wanted to wait until I kind of was getting better, where I knew I could get out and take someone out without me
right.
being crippled myself. And I'm finally getting to that. And then my game there, we're ready to throw down. So, and like I said, anything that we can do to help our veterans. A lot of my board is military veterans. I happen to have a Vietnam veteran at one of my auxiliary board. So he's been a great mentor.
You were breaking up a bit, Robert.
Apologies.
No worries. That's the joys of live entertainment, It is
This is
what it
true.
is. Richard, congratulations. Have a good night at work. Be safe. Be safe.
Catch up later, brother Rich.
What's
Another way that can, what Rob and I have come up with too, it's not going to be like the typical high ROI Culver bag that you would get, but we're going to offer a Dirty Paws bag, which some of my Patreon members have already got to sample. But I'm going to do a line on my website. It's going to be higher price. There's going to be guaranteed gold in the bag, but part of that money is going to go to helping operations so that we can do the prospecting, so that we can supply things for the vets that do come out with us, and overall operational costs. Because like I said, we're doing this on our own. So becoming a Patreon member for me, and we're going to be working on getting Rob a Patreon set up as well. So that's going to be a part of another way to fund the other half of this organization for the troops in itself, and also supplying us with the materials that we need to get this all done. So there's going to be that you could buy a higher price, lower ROI pay dirt bag just for the cause, or you can become a lower tiered Patreon member, and that will go into the general fund of helping us get out there and prospect.
Nice. What's your vision for the future of Operation 4 Paws in the next few years?
We want to be able to be known as a safe refuge for our veterans, that if they need to get away, clock out, come hang out for a weekend in the Rockies of gold panning or, ghost town adventures, that's what we're here for. And, we have the animal therapy on grounds, so they can, if they want to play with the dog and take it on a hike, we kind of, have that available as well. So, and then, like I was mentioning earlier, and like what James was saying, how we're also supported. Also, like organizations, like getting paid from James, or, getting materials from Creed up at Nine Finger Mining with D&D engraving. Oh God, he has made every single shirt of ours the past 4 years, and quite a few other trinkets, and extremely good quality, and, it's someone here in the community, and, Creed's up there in Alaska, representing and, trying to get veterans into, prospecting up there as well. So we just want to be known as that staple. Of course, we're more connected to Fort Carson, which is a local military facility, and the U.S. Space Force. We've dealt with them before. So as we continue to grow, we can hold more animals. We'll be dealing with them. And then as they return back, we're offered the services of, PTSD support by taking them out prospecting, mining, just a Rocky Mountain lifestyle, man.
Nice. Now,
very therapeutic.
I asked this pretty much almost all my guests. It's prospecting related. If it no holds bars, sky's the limit, no money out of your pocket or anything, nowhere is off limits. It could be anywhere, the moon, whatever. If you could, where would you go to prospect?
I'm staying home.
Where, James?
I'm staying here in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we kind of live it, brother. Hey, I have a mine entrance less than 100 feet, 100 yards in our front entrance here. We literally live it and breathe it. Me and Culver. Especially me and Casey, because we literally live on, we own claims next to us, and it's we have a very good veteran community up here in these mountains, and yeah.
So you wouldn't want to go to Australia and try your luck, or dredge South Island of New Zealand or something?
Of course, yeah. New Zealand. That Casey's been there before, so she already kind of knows it a little bit. So, yeah, that would be awesome. You know, being able to do some prospecting. As a metal detectorist, I would love to go to the Pacific Islands, metal detecting World War II relics.
Um,
Rome.
I
Yeah,
heard no metal detecting at all in Italy, but this is no
well,
limitation
if
in
there's no
anything.
restrictions, then that's where I go.
You're
yeah,
right. You're right. I said no restrictions for anywhere.
right.
So
You know, I do think it would be fun to go down there to Tasmania and go see the Tassie Boys.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Levi is a really cool guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going, right, David Villa? I wouldn't mind doing a little adventure with Rob Peterson or Levi. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Joyce wants to go back to Nome, Alaska. I'd like to get up to Alaska. I'm with you, John R. Australia. I almost think Tassie and Australia should be two different countries. or but yeah. Jeff, you won't find much in my safe, buddy. Right on.
Yeah, we plan on doing maybe some prospecting in Alaska next year. So
That'd be good.
we're gonna go up and visit Creed and family.
Go hang out with Creed and play around.
Yes,
He's outside of Fairbanks, so
correct.
head over to. There's a lot of good gold country outside of Fairbanks.
Yeah,
That'd be
he just got a new claim too. So we're gonna help him
nice.
out.
There you go. There you go. Coming on up, Creed. Yeah, I personally, I just would love to be able to travel more and I'm gonna have to wait till I'm retired if I ever get there.
At my current projections, I believe I can retire when I'm 247.
That's
There you
about right.
go. Right,
Yeah.
I hear you there, James. AKA you Gold Camp.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to go see Creed up there. It looks like it would be fun. I've heard good stuff about that AU Gold Camp as well, what David's talking about there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about AKAU from Brian Wilder and Debbie from Mind Lab has spoke real highly. And then I believe Circle Alaska, which Skookum Gold Camp's out of Circle, Alaska, and you fly into Anchorage to go there. Or Fairbanks, I mean, not Anchorage. I guess Fairbanks is the closest airport to him. Large airport. Because we all know that there's a lot of small bush planes in Alaska. Now, if I had my way, I'd take a small bush plane all the way from here to Alaska.
So yeah, I wanted to mention too, I just did reopen the store at the beginning of the show. So there are some pay dirts for sale up on the website. So if you want to get yours, there's some there right now.
Awesome.
And that'd be at culverprospecting.com.
And that's a taste of Colorado. Everything is harvested here in Colorado. I mean, we got North American gold, but there will be some Colorado gold in it too.
There you go. Get your own taste of Colorado through Culver Prospecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I added you to the slideshow too on my intermission video, James. But you knew that anyway. Can you share a story about a rescue that really touched your heart and pulled on your heartstrings?
Sure. We rescued a border collie who was already a service animal, but she was going partially blind in one of her eyes. And where normally some people would reject an animal that has a disability, those who have a disability sometimes can relate to that animal better. And we had a veteran who adopted her last year. And about 2 months later, the brother came over and saying that that dog saved his brother's life. And he couldn't have been more thankful for us not passing his brother up, who can be hard to talk to at times, and not passing judgment and understanding that that's the love that he needed. And that one there, I mean, being that we knew them personally and how much it's helped them, it's one of those things that you can't stop doing it. You know, there isn't like, we're going to quit doing this. When you have things like that happen, it's, you know, you're on the right path.
Right.
Um,
It sounds pretty rewarding in a far more rewarding way than monetary. It's,
it
you
is.
know,
It is.
not everything is measured by stuff or even money. It's the better things in life seem to be, you know what I mean, helping your brother, your fellow man, fur babies, and
Sorry, I've got a phone overheating right now. Yeah, that's what it just told me. So hopefully it will remain on. I'll try to keep it stable for right now while I've got some cool air blowing on it.
everybody donate. Someone donate a laptop or something to Robert. BMB pay dirt prospecting. So, where was I? I think I'm just gonna wing it, shoot from the hip. Everybody, help me out. shoot me some questions that we haven't touched base on, if you would. We're over halfway into it. Feel like giving away another bag of dirt, James?
Let's roll it.
All right. I'm gonna take it back. You can see me do it all.
EA, I've had Rob down at the creek.
And get him back to the creek right away. Some creek therapy.
He's
Looks
got the
like
Culver rider with him. All he's got to do is feed the sluice. I'll get him the dirt.
right on, James. Looks like his phone gave out. Overheating. All right. And op for Paws. Hopefully it works. Is it collecting? Really? Really? All right. I gotta redo it, y'all. It should still count what's in the chat, though. There we go. It does now, David. Make sure push the live. Make sure there's a red light on your video player where it says live. If it's gray, you're not live. And sorry about your phone overheating, Robert. Thank you, if you can still hear me. All right, we'll give it a couple minutes. And they're back.
Thank you.
They're back. Welcome back, Robert.
Thank you. That's the first time that's happened. This is like the highest end Samsung you can get. Go figure.
Yeah, doggone electronics don't work really great when they get too hot, huh? Or too
Not really.
cold. Now, both of you are native. Well, you were talking about finding Civil War stuff and being in a detectorist family. So, were you from the South?
Correct.
Robert?
Yeah, I am a Southerner. But so I grew up in a military family as well. So, from my uncles to my grandfather. Actually, my grandfather, who was a gunner in the Pacific Theater, is the one who got me into panning when I was young. And I apologize. I'm
Sorry.
trying to pull
No
myself
worries.
together here.
No
Being hit in
worries.
different directions. It's all good. Multitasking. You get used to it.
You grew up in Virginia.
So yeah, no. So basically, I grew up in Virginia for a while. I found my first time capsule when I was about 9 years old, and about
Mm,
that time, my uncle Don, God bless. Either way, uh, uh, he got me into metal detecting. He was part of the Park Service and was real heavy into Civil War history. So I have almost a small Civil War museum to show, our visitors, and
nice.
definitely a World War II museum. Oh yeah. So, and I am going to be separating a channel. I've been meaning to tell you, Ed. And it's going to be a military channel where I'm going to have all my veteran interviews, because I started to do that with my prospecting channel, and even though they will be interconnected, I need one separate for that, and I'll let you know when that releases. But that will be, the veteran interviews that I personally believe are very important to keep alive. So
For sure. Let me know, buddy. Let me know.
will do, my
Yeah.
friend.
And actually, on the 14th was the anniversary, 250th anniversary of the Army,
Yes,
wasn't it?
the
And
U.S. Army. Yep.
recently there was the anniversary of D-Day in the Normandy area of France, actually, too. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, ready to roll this?
There you
All
go.
right. Good luck, good luck, good luck, everybody, as Charlie says. John R. Prospecting.
His first
Awesome.
bag of Culver beer.
Congratulations, John.
Congrats, John. That guy needs to buy some lottery tickets at Rose Nose Monkey Fest. He won like 150 bags of pay dirt, I swear. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Better buy a lottery ticket, John. Jiminy Christmas. And actually, I have a sticker pack giveaway at the end of the show, where you get a John R. Prospecting sticker, um, one of two Megadog 555 sticker, Grease Monkey sticker, one channel sticker of mine, a couple of 7th year Tuesday Night Hangout Live stickers. I gotta get 8-year ones made. Then John from Digging Florida and whatnot. Then we have another Mega Dog 555 and Lewis S. Outdoors. And my signature thank you card. Banshee, there you are. I haven't seen you for a little bit, girl. Curly Bill, hello. Okay, 14 times at Monkey Fest. not at 153,000 times. Okay, I forget what I said earlier. Oh. So is there anything you'd like to shoot from the hip from and say that we haven't touched base on at all?
We've kind of covered, like where we're at right now with Operation Four Paws. I just ask, this isn't just us. Like I said, everyone, no matter where you're at in this country, you've got a local VFW somewhere, and those guys could use a friend who's well. I mean, even just taking them for a hike or a trek in the woods, man. Let them know that there's a bigger organization standing behind them, and we got their six. So I just want to keep that message out there, and they're not alone.
Right? And I can definitely fall behind that message there.
And even then, like if somebody, June is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. If anybody ever needs to talk,
Yep.
don't hesitate to reach out.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
We're in the public
24/7.
and I have no problem talking with anybody, whether it's Gold family or not. If it's a veteran and somebody needs to talk, I'm going to be here. I may not have the answers for you, but you will have somebody that'll listen. And I'm sure it's the same with Rob or anybody really in this community, whether it's Gold family, metal detecting, anything like that. Mental health is important. We've all had different types of traumas. We all have stuff that we got to work through, and making sure that all of us are doing okay. It never hurts to reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Shoot them a text. Say, hey, man, I hope you're doing well. Hope to catch up with you soon. That could change somebody's day completely.
True. And unfortunately, a lot of people do something they can't ever take back when all they needed was someone to lend them an ear that really cared for for just a little bit. And unfortunately, with those in the veterans, they're among the highest amount of suicides at the moment. Or, well, I think I'm far enough in
4 years
the
have been the
show.
worst we've seen. But it is getting better. So morale is up amongst veterans currently. At least what we see in our
They
it's getting
need to
really
know
bad.
they need to know there's people out there that really do care, and there is help. Might not be from the government they gave it all to, but they're there, like with you, James and Robert, and so many out there. Richard, shoot, call me. We have a Kiwi in the house. Hello. Good afternoon. Let me see. What should I put down for the next one, James? What we do? A Culver sack the last time. Op 4 Paws the last time. The time before that was Culver sack.
Freedom.
I'll never forget.
I like that. Freedom. I like that. Let's see if it cooperates. And it is. It's counting. Yeah, and you won't be disappointed with James's bags. And at a quarter a gram, that's a little over $25 right now. Worth of gold. Never know. Could go up even higher after you get it. HD, I hope Gemstone Judy's doing well. Give Sister Judy and I love for us. Hope everything's fine in Tennessee. Right on. Thanks, brother. David Nelson, how you doing? Put 2 minutes on the clock.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, let's sell out everything that James put on his website tonight. Have them all sold out again.
There you go.
And you heard James talk about the your lowest tier on your Patreon goes towards Operation 4 Paws, right?
The $5 and $10 tier goes for the prospecting part of Operation 4 Paws.
Okay. 5 and 10. Very good. Yes, he does, Mega Dog. And actually, Culver Prospecting was voted #1 by Dylan at Miller Prospecting. That was for 2024, wasn't it? Or was it 25?
Right there.
24, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me blow you up there for a second. If it will let me switch you over.
Maybe.
It ain't letting me switch you over. Not on my side, at least. All right. Let her rip. John R., you better not win it again. Mr. Menex.
Cool.
Hey, Wheezing Geezer.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right on, Mr. Minix.
Yeah, haters.
Get a hold of James. And 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thank you very much, James, for sponsoring those giveaways tonight. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
So what are you guys up to this coming weekend? Anything exciting?
We're gonna
mining.
be going in the hole.
Gonna go mining. Well, you do that all the time, right? Now, what do you do for your job, James?
I work in Aspen as a master technician. So I get to work on very exotic and rare cars.
Okay.
And it's
cool.
a really interesting job because one minute I could be working on a Ferrari, the next minute I could be working on a Rolls Royce from the 30s. So it very, very wildly changes from day to day.
Cool.
And for those who didn't know, the largest silver nugget ever recovered was pulled out of Aspen.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of those ski towns in Colorado were once mining towns. And same in Utah too. Alta and Telluride, Aspen. Shoot. When I need to remember them, I'm having a blank. Joyce says it was a pleasure to see you all on the show tonight. Thank you for your service. Good night. Thank you, Joyce, for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. There you go. Jason, Breckenridge, Dylan, Silverton, Victor.
Breckenridge, yeah.
Along with so many. Shoot, I've done a lot of shorts on the history of mining in Colorado, too. Those are getting harder to do. I don't want duplicates. Yes, Jason, so many others. All right. Now, for my cheap piddly sticker pack, just put stickers in the chat. Tell you what, I'm gonna throw in a stack of hundreds.
Yo,
Troubled one, how you doing? You'll take that instead? Okay, sure, Josh, right here. Isn't Bush Gold toilet paper, David? Mountain money? Job site money? It ain't doing it. What? Oh, there it goes. Only one of you? Here, I'm going to do it over. Because it's only registering one entry. I swear, the new owners at StreamYard are slacking, I think. Okay, that's better. Bedtime is extremely soon. I wish I could get to bed early sometimes. All right. Another 2 minutes on the clock. While we're waiting, next week is kind of an open line Tuesday, be the last of the season of my 7th year. And then I'll be talking about plans for this area right here next week and enjoying my last show of 7 years with all of you. 2 years ago, after my mom passed away and stuff, I decided it's best I took summer off, 3 months break away from the show. Drink more coffee. I drink it all the time, Steven. So much my sister had runs on coffee put on my cup. I drink it till the time I go to bed. It's ridiculous. And I still fall asleep. It's amazing, huh? It's amazing. All right, we have you too, Stephen. And David Villa says he runs on coffee. You got that right. All right. Let's see who this sticker pack's gonna go to. Oops. Don't want to start. David Villa! Hola! I have your address, David. So, and you get a micro stack of $100 bills. They are not legal tender, but you'll get them. Now, make sure I write on here, David Villa, so I don't have a blonde moment. Because, I'm partially blonde, so. Oh, got to put your stack of hundreds in there, David. Oh, my goodness. I want to thank you, Robert, And
Thank you for having us on, brother. I really appreciate
I
it.
can't say just thank you, Robert, but for I'm gonna blame it on my blondness. I'm having a brain fart on your wife's name again.
It's Casey.
Casey.
That's
Casey.
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 Casey, yeah.
Casey. Casey. Thank you very much, Casey and Robert, for joining me. Thank you very much, James, for being here tonight. And thanks again for sponsoring the 3 giveaways of your most excellent pay dirt bags.
Absolutely, not a problem. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I've enjoyed having your company for the past 2 hours, all 3 of you, even with Murphy trying to get involved on the thing. Thank you, Banshee. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. Get my words to come out right. Oh my goodness. Because this is the best community in all of YouTube, the prospecting community. It's come up in several videos, but I can't necessarily just say the prospecting community. The treasure fam, the treasure hunting community in whole is a great community. All of you, if you see a service personnel on the street, thank them. Reach out to your VFW, like Robert was saying. Reach out to Operation 4 Paws. There are links down in the description. Been going across the chat several times. Any way you could help my friends out. Our friends are part of the family with their mission, with helping those who served us along with their 4-legged friends. Please do. Hey, Dot, how are you? I greatly appreciate it. I know they greatly appreciate it. Again, next week is an open line Tuesday and the last show for this season. Remember my friends over at goldprospectorspace.com. They have watch parties on Saturday or Fridays for Gold Rush and other stuff, and Prospectors Radio here on YouTube at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And there is an after party on Zoom over at goldprospectorspace.com. It's absolutely free to join, and many of the Treasure fam are members over there. It's another place with a lot of great people who are, then again, many of them are veterans also. Great community there. They're also a big part of the community here. David Villa is one of them. Mr. Lodax, the man over there. Also a co-host on Prospectors Radio, along with Rob from Y Gold Metal Detecting Adventures, and so many other great people. That's right, David. Tell them, come on down. Until next time, thank you again for being here. May you always have a flash in your pan. And you never know. I hope so. Maybe one day too. We'll meet you on the river. But this very second, right now, I think we're out of here.
Tuesday Night Hangout Live. We've had our fun. The battery was strong, the night's been won. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is for all of you. Flash Fan forever. We'll keep the vibe. Catch us next time. Let's keep
Night
it
comes to a
live.
close. We're feeling great. Flash Fam is together. Whenever it feels just right. The wonderful guests, good times, and so much fun. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will return very soon. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fantastic time. Camaraderie is strong, and we're built to last. Till next time, we look forward to seeing you again. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will be back soon. Give us a like. Don't say goodbye. Just see you later. Flash Fam forever. Until we meet again.